Yo, welcome to On the Line Under 30, man. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. GB2, here with my co-host,
J-HARP.
Man, and we got the legendary Mr. Patrick Roy in the building. Welcome, Coach. How you feeling?
I feel great. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Man, most definitely. Man, you know what? It's such an honor, being a former student athlete and also playing for you just to see how your career played out. But we want to know about your early years. How'd you get your start in the game?
Well, basically, I was just a basketball player at Inglewood High School, just a kid going out there trying to be good, thinking that I was either Magic Johnson or various different players from the NBA. And I loved it so much. Once I graduated from high school, I said, let me go back. I want to coach this team. And I was lucky to get in as a JV coach, coached a couple of years, and was able to take over the program after that.
So going to your basketball career, what kind of inspired you to start, pick up the ball and play the game, and just wanted to move forward from Inglewood High School and to move forward through your collegiate career?
For me, I was just a young kid, grew up playing up at Ladera Park, talking stuff to the players, different guys that was out there. And I just had a really fun time with it because it was the only thing I really did well. So I just continued with it, and it just led me to where I am today.
That's very interesting. During that era, a lot of pushback for just like young black men in terms of just going out and trying to be successful, following the typical 9-to-5 job. Did your parents ever try to take you away from the game to force you to do something that was a little more sturdy, or was there, a lot of support when it came to actually going out there to play?
Well, I'm not going to say my parents tried to take me away from the game because my parents was just really into survival. So back then, we didn't have a lot of money. It wasn't a lot of capital inside our family. So my moms and pops was just really out there hustling, trying to make ends meet. And so I was just at the park, just playing basketball as a kid and just having fun.
Give us some of those stories, and what's your earliest childhood memory, when it comes to the game?
I think one of my favorite times in playing basketball, I was a freshman playing junior varsity basketball, and we were playing against Morningside, and we were down by like 10 or 12 points or so. And the coach was, this guy named Coach Ellis, he was just so intelligent. He was just like, just get that thing to Pat Roy and everybody else just clear out of the way. And, we were able to catch him, and I hit the winning basket. I ran down the floor. I jumped in hooray, and my team tackled me, and I just sort of never looked back after that.
From my understanding, you used to have there used to be a line all the way down Manchester to come see Patrick Roy.
I heard about that.
Well, I'm not going to say it was a line of people, but there was a lot of people that did come by to watch me play and thought that I was pretty decent, and I was thankful for that. But as you guys can see, I'm a very humble individual, so I'm not going to talk too much about my accolades, but the line was long. The line was long, definitely.
All right, so going after Inglewood High School, I know you went to University of Utah. Can you talk about your experience there and, the transition from high school?
So when I got out of high school, actually what I did, I went to a junior college first, Valley College, and then I went to Texas, University of Texas, left from there, went to another junior college, and left from there and went to New Mexico. So I didn't play long. I was sort of plagued with injuries. So the one thing that I wanted to do was just give back. So I started coaching, and I wanted to see other players have a chance to go to college and receive D1 scholarships or Division II or NAIAs or whatever it could be. So I just thought it was so important for young men to be able to have a solid education, have a good foundation, a good background. So I knew through education that was the key.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about that injury. Was it hard for you to have to step away from your playing days to transition over to coaching? Or, was that something that was fairly easy for you to just kind of come to grips with?
Well, after a while, I said, okay, my playing days are up. So it was pretty easy for me to come in and start coaching basketball. So I never really had to leave the game after that. So I was able to coach, and I could still go out there. I remember a couple of times playing you guys some one-on-one because I knew you guys couldn't hold me under any circumstances. So it was a lot of fun for me. It was a lot of fun.
Man. Yeah. I specifically remember you taking my shoes one time in the shooting game.
Oh my goodness.
He was known for that. I will give you credit for that. You can't hold me now. I can definitely tell you that, but you definitely got me then.
Well, I'm an old guy now, so I'm not supposed to hold you. But when you were in high school in your prime, both of you guys, I gave you guys fits.
I mean, you didn't. You shot
well.
But as far as having to sit down and guard, that's a whole
Yeah,
different
you
story.
know.
Oh, come on. We having selective amnesia here.
Oh,
Come
this
on.
is crazy.
Come
This
on.
is crazy.
Come on. I was able to lock both of you guys up. And you said, oh, no?
No.
Okay. I'll leave it up to you then. It's your show, so I'm going to leave it up to you.
Good. As we transition, what were some of those? Was there anybody in particular on the back end that kind of helped you get your start into coaching? I mean, outside of you just saying, "Hey, I know I want to give back." Was there anybody in particular who kind of helped you get your start?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. Once in my mind, I knew I couldn't play basketball anymore.
Yeah.
It was the next best thing. So it was sort of automatically for me to go into coaching, and so that's what I did. Just right off the bat, I love coaching, and because it kept me really close to the game. And then I had the chance to coach good players like yourselves, and that was just rewarding for me.
So going off, you were 3-time ESPN Coach of the Year, 4-time CIF Coach, Southern Section Coach of the Year, 4-time California Coach of the Year. Where did the philosophy come from?
Probably from my former coach. A lot of things that he done with us, I tried to duplicate, and I had some success with that. And then I added some things, and some people came in and taught me some things. So, just in a situation where I can learn a little bit from everybody. So I thought that's what helped me in coaching.
Yeah. Wow. Who were those those programs that kind of really gave you fits? You know, that was tough to kind of get over those.
Oh,
hurdles.
easy, Dominguez. Dominguez, I think we played against Dominguez High School. You know, they had a lot of talent. You know, Kenny Bruner, Tyson Chandler. They had, you know, quite a few different pro guys. But there was like that Achilles heel that sort of stopped us from winning championships. So I think we played them at least 7, 8 times in the CIF finals, and we were just unsuccessful.
Wow. Yeah. I think it's difficult, you know, sometimes to kind of come to grips with those hurdles, you know, that Achilles heel, like a Dominguez, in those powerhouse programs. But you were able to win you some championships. You have a favorite year?
The second one, I think 2012, because I can remember back in my mind, we were in the finals and Mr. Harper got a shot blocked. The 1-3 that would have won us the championship, he actually shot the very last shot. And one of the big 6'8", 6'9" guys came and blocked it or got a piece of it. So that always sort of stayed in my mind. So we were able to go back the following year and win it. So we went back-to-back CIF finals that year. So I said we had to redeem ourselves from Jamie getting the shot blocked. So and then in the next year we came back and we had a lot of success and we were champions that year. So 2012 was special because we won the first one. My second year I won a CIF title. So everybody was like, you know, having Paul Pierce or different players, we were supposed to be pretty good. But my second year my second time winning the title was important because everybody said I couldn't do it without Paul Pierce. So we had a chance to win a title without him. So that was special.
Before we move on, that wasn't the last shot. Did he tip my jumper? Yes.
Yes, he
Jump
did.
from the block, very athletic. Was it the last shot? No. One of our teammates, he dunked on somebody the play before, dunked on about 3 people.
Sheesh.
The next one takes an off-balance floater from the free throw line for the game. So, you know, it's got to.
So
Just to recap, we wanted you to shoot the ball. We put the ball in our hands. You were our designated shooter. We wanted to see you shoot the basketball. He just blocked it.
You just blocked it.
Yeah.
That's okay. It happens. You cost your team the game. It's okay. That's something that you live with and you kind of move on from. At least you have to trust in your coaches. It's one thing you can hang your hat on.
Yes.
I know you mentioned Paul Pierce. What was it like to coach a guy like Paul Pierce? I know you got a couple of guys, you know, sort of under your arsenal, under your belt. D'Angelo Collins, you had Jason Hart, Jay Crow. Talk about some of those guys and what they sort of brought to the table for you.
Well, I would probably start off with Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce was a winner. He was a guy who did whatever it took to win the basketball game. You know, he was very serious about his game. He worked on his game. He stayed in the gym. He was real passionate about it. So watching him develop, because, you know, I coached him. I was a JV coach for his 9th grade year. Then his 10th grade year, I became the head coach, and he went up to varsity with me. So just watching him develop over 4 years and seeing how he went to a little 5'9" chubby kid to a 6'7", really good basketball player. So that was special. And to this day, we really have a special relationship. We stay in contact with each other, and so that's been pretty rewarding.
Yeah. Do you have any? If you were to take, you're nearing 30 years now, in coaching, which is, longevity is a huge thing, especially for young student athletes to get a chance to stick around with coaches who are going to be there for them, continue to help produce athlete after athlete, getting them to the next level. In your near 30-year coaching experience, do you have like a top 7? What's your top 7 players from just any era that you've coached?
I don't know. That's difficult. I've had a lot of good players over the years. You're talking about 30 years of coaching basketball. I don't want to shortchange anybody, so I can't sit here and just pinpoint guys
You
out.
got to. You got to give me a starting 5 and 2 bench players.
It's just difficult. But definitely we have a guy like a Paul Pierce, and I think that class was pretty special. Jason Crow was also on that team. I've had so many good players over the years, like Gerald Evans, Jamie Harper. All you guys were really good players, so I can't really just pinpoint 5 or 6 or 7 guys. But we've had some good ones, like Anthony Davis was obviously a good player, D'Angelo Collins, Chris White. We just had so many good guys, so I can't really just pinpoint 5 or 6 guys.
Yeah. Okay. How's that? Just to stay there a little bit, right before we get out of those Inglewood days, I really want to know, how did you deal with student athletes? In terms of just being able to give them something to hold on to, pushing them in terms of academics. What was that like for you as a coach? Like, what are you giving your kids to keep them motivated on the basketball court, but also off the basketball court?
Well, a lot of our kids come from the inner city. So a lot of kids was really trying to get to the next level, trying to build better lives for themselves. So they knew they couldn't do it without an education. So that's one thing that we pushed. Even before winning, we were like, hey, let's get our kids into college. And I remember going through some difficult times at Inglewood with a principal, and I was on my way getting ready to depart. And I had a meeting with a whole bunch of kids, and a whole bunch of kids came at me and they was like, Coach, thank you. They're going to miss you here. But I think the biggest thing was education, just trying to get them to the next level. Because all our kids were pretty much trying to get to college. Same thing with you, same thing with you. You guys were trying to get to college and using basketball as that avenue to do so.
So kind of shifting gears, and it's talking about administration at schools, and more so the public school setting. What were some of those challenges that you faced, battling administration to ultimately achieve your goal of helping these inner city kids go on to college and better their lives?
Well, I was lucky. I had very good principals. Working for Dr. Kenneth Crow, who hired me as the head basketball coach. Another lady named Miss McDaniels, and I had another principal named Dr. Winston. So I had pretty good principals. And even the one who let me go or wanted to let me go, she and I had a very good relationship for about 10 years. It's when she departed and came back, and she felt that I didn't support her. So, it is what it is. I was out of there. She was going to put me out of there. So it is what it is. But I had a chance to leave from there. I got hired in Compton as the basketball coach there, and then St. Paul job opened up, and I applied there. I ended up taking that job, and just never looked back.
Would you say your departure from Inglewood, at that last season, did you want to stay for the season, or were you just kind of over it, were you ready to go and move on to the next venture?
Well, I thought that, the principal was being a little petty on some things. So I said, me having the tenure that I have, I'm not going to go through this. I can go get another job somewhere else. And I did, and it's been great. It's been great. I mean, it's a total different look from Inglewood, but Inglewood was the foundation for me. It was my beginning. And I had a chance to build a lot of relationships at Inglewood, and it was special for me. I had a chance to coach a lot of kids. I got a lot of kids who come back to this day. Did I like departing from Inglewood? No. But, sometimes we have to move on. I think I was there for 26, 27 years before I departed. So it's not too many guys who had that kind of tenure at a high school. So, but I love it. It was great when I was there, and I always go back and watch my alma mater play. And but I can't cry over spilled milk.
Yeah. No, and that's understandable. I think it's always tough. I like to think about it like, I feel like you spent more than half of your life there at Inglewood, from your playing days to your coaching days. You've amassed over 500 wins. Before you got even chance to move on, was there ever a thought to step away from the game because Inglewood was pretty much your home base for basketball?
Definitely, definitely. When I was getting ready to depart from Inglewood, I took a year or two off, and I was like, I'm chilling. I got a chance to go watch other teams play, and that was fun for me. One of my loyal assistants, Coach William Alexander, he ended up taking over the team, so I had a chance to watch him coach, and so that was a lot of fun for me. But after a while, I got the itch back, so I started applying for jobs, and I think after my fourth or fifth job that I applied for, I got it, and I ended up getting another job, and actually I even got another job. So I'm back in the game, and it's fun for me, so I'm going to continue to do it as long as it's fun.
Yeah. Love that. I love that. Anything at St. Paul, man, I know that you going from the public sector to the private sector. Talk to us a little bit about the recruiting process, how that's changed from just when you first got your start over at Inglewood and how you recruit now. Any of that stuff change?
Definitely. Because when you're in the private sector, then you have a chance to, get guys from overseas. So I'm bringing in Africans, they 6'9", they're 6'10". A lot of parents would rather for their kids to go to private school as opposed to public school. So that's always an asset. So my first year, which was last year, we graduated 9 seniors. I was able to bring in 9 more guys, and, we're continuously winning. My team this year, we made top 25 in California, LA Times top 25, even though we was only there for about 3 weeks. But even though we got into our league and we're getting our butts kicked right now, but we're just going to keep fighting, just keep going.
So how are the kids different, or are the kids different? You've been dealing with inner city kids and the public kids at the public schools, and now times have changed, and it's, from what I've seen, it's a lot more parents want their kids to be academic based and not just go to these certain schools. Like I see now, the TAFs aren't the big powerhouses anymore. It's the Crossroads and the private schools in the Sierra Canyon. So how has that changed as far as, how you handle the kids and then prepare them for the next level?
Well, once again, parents want to see their kids go to private schools because they feel it's a better education, number one. And number two, the kids are a little nicer. They're a little bit, say like when you guys, like I would come to Jamie, I would say, Jamie, do this, do that. Jamie would be like, Coach, I'm better than that. I can't do that. And same thing with you, George. You did the same thing. Actually, you were worse than Jamie. So, in the private kids, they feel like, okay, this guy comes in, he's got all this experience. I'm going to listen, I'm going to pay attention to him, and I'm going to do what he asks me to do. Where the inner city kid wants to do their own thing a lot of times. So I think that's probably a little bit different.
So do you treat them differently though? Like how do you approach them in dealing with different temperaments, not just from the player's standpoint, but also dealing with parents who feels like, man, my kid should be playing more, or, why isn't my child taking this type of class, or, what's going on with the recruiting process and my kid's not getting enough attention, from colleges. Like how do you deal with those things?
Well, my philosophy from Inglewood days to the private sector days is pretty much the same. So what I do is I have a big meeting. I meet with all the parents, and I tell all the parents from day one, don't call me, don't bother me. If you have any questions or concerns, you deal with the assistants. If it's something that they can't handle, then I'll try to come in and rectify it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just sort of keep the parents at bay. It's hard to run a good program if you got parents that's trying to intervene.
Yeah.
And I let parents know, if you don't like what I'm doing, take little Johnny and, move on. And I've had a lot of success with that, and I stay with it. As long as I got the support of the administration at my school, St. Paul, I do.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so now I think, times have a little bit changed where it's the era of social media and the highlight film.
Without question.
How do you,
Without question.
How do you navigate through that, especially when trying to pick kids and figure out if they're going to be good for your program? by just getting some game film or by, or even trying to send them off to a school, how do you navigate through the era of the highlight film and social media?
Well, definitely social media has changed changed the whole dynamics of basketball. So I had for the first time ever, and I'm not a social media guy. I'm not any of those things. I'm just an old school playing guy. But my daughter sat me down. I got my Instagram going now, and which I never had before, even though I turned around, I got a whole bunch of followers just by putting my name up there. So I think that you have to use the Instagram and different things like that because a lot of college coaches use it. Yeah. And anything that I can use to help promote my student athlete, that's what I want to do.
So how do you use that, but also make sure the kids are focused? Because now what I see a lot of is kids that, oh, I just want to get on Ball Is Life. I just want to get on House of Highlights, and I just want to be, oh, my teammate may be on it, but I'm not. So I got to do what I can to try to, get some shine and get some love and get a little bit more pub, as opposed to when we were in high school, it took a lot to get on a YouTube mixtape.
Right.
Well, I tell my kids now, I say, number one, you're not good enough to get on anything. Work on your game. Focus in on your game. Get your game right. Then once your game gets right, all the other things will follow. So I try to go with the old school approach with a little bit of young school.
Okay.
You feel like the work ethic over the years has changed? Do you feel like speaking of this highlight, real era and social media era, there's a lot of viral videos, like what can I do to go viral? Do you think that that's changed the way that kids work out and work on their game? Do you see, a difference in the grind from inner city kids to the private sector and how much time they put in on the court?
Yeah, I do. I think that a lot of kids today, in today's game, they want to go out there, they want to do the shine, so they want to go with the floater or do this or anything that can bring them some type of notoriety. And that's just something that you have to deal with in dealing with the youth today. But I do try to keep them well grounded into the basics and fundamentals of basketball. I tell them that's what's going to take them over the top.
Yeah, yeah. We talked about the recruiting process a little bit. As these kids start to segue, you've dealt with, a lot of coaches at the next level, just being that liaison for student athletes. What advice do you give to your student athletes when it comes to deciding which school is best for them? Especially now that you have, we'll talk about first how you used to do it, and then now maybe speak a little bit on how NIL has changed what these kids are looking forward to as they make these decisions.
Well, first of all, when it comes down to college recruiting or being recruited by college coaches, I try to tell the kids, number one, you still got to be basically fundamentally sound. So your game has to be tight from that perspective. Before anything else, you got to have the basics and the fundamentals. And then secondly, I had a chance to know a lot of coaches, so I'm able to get on the phone and call some people up and get that dialogue going between the student athlete and the coach. And I've had some success with that. But I tell all coaches, because the majority of the coaches are old school, so you have to be able to play. You just can't go out there looking for the home run. You got to be able to hit a base hit. So I think I just try to keep them grounded, but keep them working hard on their basketball skills. And if we do that, I tell them that you guys you'll have a lot of success.
So going into recruiting and how COVID just crazed the transfer portal, how do you navigate through getting a high school kid a scholarship when a lot of coaches are looking for somebody who's ready to help them win, and you have all these transfers going at the same time?
Difficult, very difficult. I mean, I was looking in the portal. You have 500-600 kids in the portal, and a lot of D1 coaches, because their pressure on them is to win. They're making a lot of money, so they feel like they have a chance to just go get another D1 guy. They're going to look at his stats and see where he's at. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's already got experience. So definitely, it makes it a lot tougher. But I still tell the kids, if you go out and you work, because the college coaches are going to see your name is going to get out there. I had one of my former players, Jason Crow. He had called me about his son, and he was saying, "What should I do?" I said, "Jay Crow, just keep him grounded. You're already doing everything that you need to do. Just keep him grounded, and his notoriety is just going through the roof."
Yeah, I watched that kid play. He's got some game.
He's good.
Got some game.
Yes, he's good.
Yeah. Who would you compare him to right now in terms of what you've seen from him?
I would say I had a chance to coach Tracy McGrady in high school. It was up in ABCD camp. And he was a nobody. Nobody knew him because that's why he was on my team. Because I was a nobody coach, so he was on my team, and I had a chance to build a relationship with him. And I watched him play, and he just got better and better and better and better. He just stayed grounded. He stayed with the fundamentals, and I just watched him just blossom into a heck of an athlete. So I tell kids all the time, no matter how much you see the fame, the glitter, this, that, and the other, you still got to be able to play. You still got to have the fundamentals. You still got to be able to shoot. You still got to be able to defend and those kinds of things. Just keep it basic.
Yeah.
Well, quick comparison. Who would you take? Who do you think is a better player, Young Crow or Gilwood Arena's son? Because he's been making a lot of noise, both for freshmen.
That's a tough question. That's a tough question. But I would say right now, I would get an edge to J. Crow. Yeah, I think that just the way he puts up points, I think he just had a 60-pointer or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, just the fact that how he's able to put up points, I would give him the edge, no doubt. But Gilbert Arenas' son is very good as well. Both of them are very good players.
Where are you guys right now in your program? What are you seeing in terms of just next stages for you guys at St. Paul?
Well, I think our future's bright due to the fact that we have like 5 sophomores, 2 juniors, 2 freshmen, 1 senior. And like I said, we were able to top LA Times top 25. We started off the season somewhere like around 14-2. Now, once we got to the league playing against the Bishop Montgomery, the Burners, the teams that are in the open division, they just killed us. But we're looking forward to next year. Our goal or our objective is to be able to win that league next year. And I'm a competitive guy, and my team is going to take on my personality, and they're going to be competitors as well. We're going to come back in that league and win.
So, Coach, I heard a story when I was a player a while back where you were in front of La Tierra Middle School, and you were doing your dribbling drills in the middle of the street, and all the cars stopped. And they were pointing out the window, that's Pat Roy. That's Pat Roy. Where did that story come from? How true is that?
Well, actually, that's not a true story. What happened was it was a bus, a city bus going up and down the street. So the bus driver would always watch me. He would actually come by during lunchtime when I was actually out on the court playing. And so the bus driver would just stop the bus. And he said, y'all see that kid right there? He's special. He's nice. So what happened was all the people on the bus got upset because they had to go to work, they had to do this, but the bus driver was so obsessed to watch me do a variety of moves out there. Because it was like me playing, like a man playing with among boys, even though I was playing with my peers. So that's really where that story comes from. It wasn't just an ongoing traffic. It was just this one particular bus driver. He would just stop the bus and just park it right there on La Tierra Boulevard as I was playing up at La Tierra Elementary School. And he was like, he's special. He's nice. I'm not saying that. That's what the bus driver
That's
just
what the
happened
bus
to
driver
say.
just
Yeah,
used to say all the
so
time.
that was, a lot of people just got that story a little mixed up, a little confused,
Yeah.
but I'm not trying to say I was nice. I was never cocky. I was never arrogant. I never talked about my basketball skills or anything like that. I was just a real quiet individual. I just loved to play.
Yeah. Did you feel special, though?
No, I never felt special or more special than any other person. I just was a kid who just out there loved to play. I used to ditch class to go out there and play basketball all day long. I just loved to play. I just really loved to play, and that's just what I did.
Yeah.
Did you ever hit the weight room? Because there was a time, throughout my tenure in Inglewood, where I asked you to go if you can open it up, and you told me when I go in the weight room, the weights just start rattling. They're scared of Patrick Roy.
I wasn't really big on weights, just to be honest. Just wasn't really big on weights because I always thought it would hinder my shot. Because when I was coming up, the three-pointer wasn't in yet until I got into high school. So, but I remember times when I would go out and play in high school games, and I would be out of bounds would be like right here, and I'm I'm just hitting. I'm tearing it up. It's like bottom. It's like wet. It's continuously just going in. And I remember one referee who didn't like me for whatever reason. Sometimes you got people that are jealous of you, but he just didn't like me for whatever reason. So anything that he could do against me, he did it. So I remember one particular game, we were down by like 3 or 4 points, and I had shot a shot from the corner. I was really known to shoot the ball from the corner. And the referee ran over, Roy, no, you're out of bounds. You're out of bounds. But I hit it all net. I was just a good shooter.
Kind of like the championship when they called it out of bounds on me. I got you.
Yes.
got you.
Yes.
I've been there.
Yeah, no, you were a very good shooter. You were a very good shooter. I just wish you didn't get your shot blocked.
In the most
If you
critical
did,
moment.
yeah. Because if that shot goes in, we win the game.
That's true. However, a lot of things happen throughout the game,
Oh, yes.
civil loss. So I like to think that it was this water, this special water that Patrick Roy had the doc bring the team. Alkaline water. And you had our players fighting over it before the game even started.
Special water.
Well, that was just something mentally to get you guys hyped, get you ready to play. Because if you thought that water was special, you would play special.
Kind of like Mike's secret stuff.
Yeah, Mike
So,
Secret says it's
exactly. Sort of just like
They
that.
get you guys ready.
But the problem was Jamie didn't drink that water. That's why his shot got blocked.
Got blocked. I
And that was the championship shot right there. It was over. It was over. But we put the ball in the right man's hands. We wanted to see him shoot the ball, and it just got tipped a little bit. But it was on the right flight plan. It looked like it was getting ready to go in. I thought it was all net.
It was money.
Oh, I thought it was. Till it got blocked. But I thought it was. I just thought it was just the three was just all bottom of the net. I really did.
Any heartbreak? Like, what was the heartbreaking one? For you. Was it that right there? Like that
That hurt
heartbreak?
it. Yes,
That hurt.
that hurt it. But just going to the finals so many different times and losing so many different times, it all hurts the same. Especially when you get to the finals,
Right.
Because you make it that far, you want to win the basketball game, and just so many times we just fell short. So,
Yeah.
But just winning that second title in 2012 meant a lot. It meant a lot.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. You're able to go back.
Right. I didn't have Jamie out there, so we had a shot.
You had a shot.
I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
No, we love it. What part of your game translates the most to today's game? Like what you saw for yourself on the basketball court translates to today's game.
See, I had an old school kind of game. My game sort of emulated like a Larry Bird sort of type player. Larry was wet, I was wet. So, we had the same kind of game. It wasn't flashy, except I had hops.
Oh, you was bouncy.
I did have hops.
So, gotta cut you off. There's a story I was told about how high you could jump, where you used to just pump the ball, just pop.
Well, that was like a horse competition, and
Got it.
I was getting ready to lose. So I had to pull out something that no one else seen. So if you get above the rim where you can hold the ball and palm it here and then dunk it like this, that's special. That's special right there, Mr. Harper. I'm telling you, that's special. So I was able to do some things and just had a lot of fun playing basketball, man. It's been great between coaching and playing and doing well at both. So I've been a blessed individual, and I thank God for that.
Yeah.
How true is it that you called a timeout just to tell the kid how nasty he was in that moment?
That was not true. That
Oh.
was not true. I would never.
Oh.
I would never tell a kid that he's nasty or he wasn't good or he couldn't play. I wouldn't want to break a kid's spirit like that. That's not something that Patrick Roy would do.
I gotta cut in on this, Coach. I was a part of that team when this happened. We
Who
playing
was the
that.
player?
You want me to say his name? You want me to throw him under the bus?
Oh, okay.
There was a player on my team. We were playing at Pepperdine.
Ooh.
Playing at Pepperdine. We were playing against Centennial at the time. Guy's dribbling the ball up the court. He's a lefty.
Okay.
Dribbling the ball up the court, wide open on a fast break. He misses the left-hand layup. So we get the ball back. Coach Roy calls a timeout. Burp. Timeout. We hustle over. Only words that were said, we get to the huddle. Get there. Coach Roy just says, so, you know you just tricked the scholarship off, right? All right, go back out there.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I ain't never been a part of a situation like that. It was the most awkward, funny thing ever. In hindsight, it was. In that moment, you like, damn. Damn. Like, what? But after
I know who you're talking about, and he was nasty. I mean, he was nasty. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes, we're not going to mention any names, and I remember that story, but he was nasty.
He was nasty.
But I didn't call him over and tell him he was nasty. I told him after the game.
No. It was during the timeout. It was during the timeout.
Oh,
Called
no.
the timeout. You know you just tricked your scholarship off, right? All right, go back out there. That's it. That's all.
Wow.
Back out there.
I hope I didn't do anything like that.
Well, you know, it's okay. I think that sometimes, I think that's a good, like, place now, because I think that kids during that time, like my time being a high school student, you know, we came up under tough coaching, right? We came up under coaches who wouldn't let you just get away with doing anything. And I want to credit you for that. I want to credit, guys like Coach Will, who was a part of that. My college coach, Coach Davis, up in South Carolina. Coaches who weren't afraid to kind of get in you and dig in. Do you find that you can still be that same way with the players now? With, things changing so much, players are a lot more sensitive and.
I think in the inner city, you could. Now that I'm in the private sector, you have to be a little bit more creative in how you tell kids about themselves, due to the fact that you have mom and dad. See, in the inner city, I mean, definitely we had parents that came out to the games, but not like this. I mean, the parents are out there, they're waiting for little Johnny to get a scholarship, and they're putting everything they have into this. Parents who really can't maybe afford private school, they're putting their kids in private school. They're trying to put them in situations where they have some success. So it's a little different. So you have to be a little bit more selective in your ridicule or criticism or talking about a player.
Yeah.
But some players love for you to get on them and be tough. Tell them that, hey, you're tricking your scholarship by missing a left-hand layup, being left-handed. Some kids need that. Some kids need that.
Yeah.
And, it helps them, and some kids don't. So I think you have to treat each kid differently.
Yeah.
How hard is it to find that balance on the individual kid, or is that something you kind of get to know them throughout the preseason and those?
I think in time you'll know, what player that you can be hard on and what player that you can't be hard on. Every kid is different. And I think when I was coaching at Inglewood, as well as when I left Inglewood, I always try to be nice to the kids as much as I possibly can. I was a nice coach. I tried to be nice, and I didn't try to be derogatory or anything like that. I just tried to do more encouragement than anything.
I mean, I don't know if locking the gym doors in the summertime was nice, but hey,
Oh, man.
Who did that? Oh, my goodness.
man.
No,
No
I don't know
airflow
about that one.
in the
airflow in the
gym,
gym.
under 30s.
Under 30s. The infamous under 30s.
So, okay, my question is, how did that come about? Is that something that somebody did to you, like you had to do it growing up playing, or is it just a Coach Roy special?
Well, as a kid coming up, I was a player myself, and I would go out and run and try to get in shape. So I was running them under 25. So I figured if I'm going to coach, I'm going to make sure my kids could do it under 30. I didn't ask them to do what I did, but I did implement it under 30. So that's just something that we would do. We would just run.
Yeah.
You guys played for me, and it was fun. You guys had a lot of fun out there running. I mean,
look, you know what? Hey, I'm not gonna lie, and I gotta hear it because it was traumatic to hear on the line. So can you give us that? Like, what does that sound like when you ready for us to run, like your players? When you say on the line, give us a sample of what that's like. When you upset.
For me personally?
Yeah, because it seemed like you got a lot of joy out of telling us to get on the line, your players. So, give us a sample.
not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I don't know.
Not at all. Not at all.
I transferred to Inglewood. We had a good team. Me, Gerald, Joe, Julius, Corey, Casey. We had a pretty decent team. And there was days where you would just walk into practice and yell, "On the line." So it's just kind of how much joy did you get out of that? Because some days you just kind of have smiling.
No, not at all. No, not at all. My thing with about the under 30 seconds is just to make sure that the team was in the best shape ever. You guys think that I may have been doing it to be facetious or something, and it wasn't like that. It was just something that we needed to do.
Yeah.
Because when you guys stepped out on the court and played, you was in great shape.
Absolutely.
You was probably in the best shape that you've ever been in your lives.
But it was just hype. Like some
It
days
was the
you
joy that came with it.
You would prolong it like on the line.
On the line.
Other days it'd be like, get on the line.
Well, it's also a disciplinary thing as well. It helped keep you guys focused. You know, not only did it help keep you focused, it propelled your game to another level. Because see, if you're in tip-top condition, it's just like being a prize fighter. The one who's in a better shape and got some skills is going to win the fight.
Yeah.
And so that's the same philosophy I took on as a coach. If we're in good shape and we already had good players, I thought we could win.
Yeah.
That was my philosophy. I made you guys think that I took some joy in making you get on the line, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't
I
like
don't
that.
know. Those 3 words used to be your favorite though.
Yeah. Hey, I just remember him on the line. I remember one particular practice he practiced over at Crozier Middle School. Because we had an event going on in the gym or something, and we had to go over to the middle school, and we at the end of practice, and shooting free throws. We're getting ready to go home. One of the players walks into practice at the end of practice, missed the entire practice. And
That was fun. Now that was fun. That's when the fun came in, because everybody's thinking they're getting ready to depart. Now that was fun. I had a lot of fun with that.
You took some joy.
I took some joy in that.
Yeah.
I took some joy in that.
Oh,
No doubt.
man.
No doubt.
Because I'm gonna remember it for the rest of my life. Oh, the ice cream and the potato chips. hold the cookies and the milk. Ronnie Banks, why are you late? Coach, I didn't know it. On the line.
But you guys enjoyed that, didn't you? Didn't you enjoy
traumatic.
That like 10-second bit. But then about 10 suicides? Nah.
No. Yeah. I mean, it was, I will say this. Jamie and I, getting out there in South Carolina, the preparation, like you just spoke of running, I mean, we were the most conditioned out of everybody there when we had to go through our conditioning tests. Jamie and I were the only freshmen to pass the conditioning test. And so that is a credit to what we were prepared with, running those under 30s and suicides and being there. We both finished school, and I think this is a great segue because we want to know, when you step away from the game, how you did. You went through your injury process as well. Jamie stepped into coaching. You stepped into coaching. I stepped into player development as well. Like, what's life after basketball when the ball stops bouncing? What is that for you? And what do you encourage these kids to do when the ball stops bouncing?
Just find something that you love. Definitely is going to come a time in life where the ball is going to stop bouncing. So I just said, find something that you love. What is it for me? Right now, the ball is still bouncing, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that I'll find something to do and have some success at it.
Yeah.
What advice you would give other than like kind of finding something you love, but going through college and getting my master's is still kind of what do I exactly can see myself doing 10 years from now?
Yeah.
Don't really exactly know. So what kind of advice would you give somebody, a young kid going, high school? Maybe his career is going to be done after high school, but he was a very good player. What advice would you give?
Are you talking about, say, for example, you graduating, having your master's, like when the ball stops bouncing for you and when you stop coaching? Or are you talking about a young kid, a kid that's in high school?
Young kid that's in high school.
I'll tell a young kid any day, just number one, do what you did. Get your BA, come back, get your master's. And then after that, I think that you can do anything you want to do. Find what's joyful for you and go for it. I think it's real simple. Life holds a lot of opportunities, and you just got to find what your niche is and go for it. I think that's what it is. Just find what you're good at and go after it. You know, life, you can do anything you want to do. I try to encourage kids all the time, you know, you can do anything you want to do under any circumstance. You know, keep God first. God said you keep him first, and these other things that he will give to you. So I think that everybody can find joy in something.
Yeah. As we close out, what's the one thing that you feel like is left for you in your coaching career that you feel like you should accomplish before you step away from the game?
For me, I would like to win another title. Yeah. So I'm gonna be, you know, pushing. That's an objective of mine, to try to win another title. But even if I fall short, I got a couple of titles up underneath my belt. So I thank God for that. But after basketball, I don't know, you know, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna find something, and hopefully it'll be in the same field of helping kids.
Yeah.
So my whole life I've been able to help kids, and I've had a lot of joy out of it, and I thank God for putting me in a position to do so.
Has anything pulled you to try and go next level instead of just sticking at high school?
No, I'm a high school guy. I think I'll be at high school. You know, I'm gonna retire and being a high school basketball coach. So I'm not looking to try to go to college or the NBA or anything like that.
If the right opportunity came about, would you say, I'm going to go take that step? Or what would it take for you to actually take that step into the next level?
Money. If you pay me some good money, I'm gone. I'll take the next step for money.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Anything you want to leave any student athlete right now, whether that be current or former? Anything that you want to leave our on-the-line guests, fans?
Nothing that I can think of at this particular moment. I'm just happy that I had a chance to come and interact with some of my former players, have a couple of laughs. It was real positive for me, and I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity.
We thank you, Coach.
Thank you for your time. I know you're a very busy man.
I'm not that busy. Thank you.
We appreciate
Next,
you,
though,
Coach.
I think we need P.
We got to get P.
I can give you P.
Give you,
Come on, double P?
oh, yeah, double P.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
can
need
give
double
you
P. We need
Yeah,
double P,
I can give you
man.
double P.
Y'all heard it, right?
Yeah, no
Coach
problem.
Roy said he's going to get us double P because we need to make sure that his stories is lining up with what he told us with P. Because if double P say something different, you know, we going to be back with
Well,
you.
double P is a character, so he could tell you a lot of different things, but I know he would love to do it. No problem. I could definitely deliver him.
Yeah. We appreciate you, Coach, man. Thank you for having us, being here with us and giving something special for our guests. We're going to wrap it up, baby. This is On the Line Under 30, man. I am one of your co-hosts, Mr. GB2.
I'm J-HARP.
We're going to catch y'all next time on the Line Under 30. Yep.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.